Good afternoon. The midday news. I am Mariam Ahmad. The Osun State government has commenced the distribution of farming tractors across the three senatorial districts as part of its efforts to promote mechanized agriculture and ensure food security. Speaking at the distribution ceremony, Osun State Governor Senator Adeleke, who was represented by the Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Otumba Fasheru, said the initiative is a key step toward agricultural transformation in the state. According to him, the tractors will be allocated through organized cooperative societies and farmer groups to ensure equitable access, sustainability, and efficient use. Otumba Fasheru stated that the distribution reflects the administration's commitment to empowering farmers and improving rural livelihoods. He further explained that the tractor distribution is only a phase in a broader agricultural agenda that includes access to quality inputs, capacity building, and extension services. He assured stakeholders that the Adeleke-led administration will continue to support farmers across the value chain. The commissioner emphasized that Osun State is determined to achieve food sufficiency and economic diversification through strategic investment in the agricultural sector, calling on beneficiaries to utilize the tractors responsibly for the collective benefit of their communities and the state. President Bola Tinubu is expected to meet with the leadership of Nigeria's power generating companies as part of an emergency effort to address the 4 trillion naira debt threatening to cripple the country's electricity supply chain. According to a statement from the Power Ministry, the move follows a high-level meeting between the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, and Chairman of Gencors in Abuja, amid mounting fears of a possible collapse in the national grid due to liquidity constraints in the sector. President Tinubu emphasized the federal government's determination to prevent a collapse of the power sector, describing the situation as a national emergency. The government pledged immediate action to reduce the 4 trillion naira debt owed to power generation companies. The Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority has frowned at continued delays and cancellations of flights by Air Peace, urging the airline to improve on its domestic operations. The Director General of NCAA, Ejike Diolu, stated this during a meeting with management of the agency, advising the airline to trim its operations to the size of available aircraft in its fleet to mitigate the crisis. The DGCA asserted that the NCAA will continue to support the airlines. The operators must comply with the regulations and global best practices. He warned that the agency is increasing its monitoring of flight operations across all airlines to ensure compliance. However, the airline, in response to the warnings by NCAA, said they operate in accordance with its available aircraft, insinuating that the airline was operating more routes than its available aircraft. The airline insisted that there was no time it cancelled a flight for the fun of it, saying safety and will always remain their cardinal priority. The federal government has stressed the need for ethical guidelines to regulate the use of artificial intelligence in journalism practice in Nigeria. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, stated this during the 2025 World Press Freedom Day journalism training themed Reporting in the Brave New World, the impact of artificial intelligence on press freedom and the media in Abuja. Mr. Idris, who was represented by the Director, Press, Public Relations and Protocol in the ministry, Dr. Suleiman Aruna, noted the importance of press freedom for a thriving democracy, saying freedom must come with responsibility. The minister, who also stressed the importance of training journalists on effective use of A1 tools, urging stakeholders to invest in that cause, said that the line between human and generator content was becoming increasingly blurry, raising questions about transparency, accountability, and bias in reporting. Mr. Idris said that while the federal government is committed to supporting the responsible adoption of A1 in journalism, it is also working towards developing a national policy framework for A1 in media, one that promotes innovation while safeguarding press freedom and journalistic integrity. And now from sports, the Flying Eagles coach Ali Zubairu is setting his sights firmly on securing a win against Kenya after a lackluster draw with Morocco. Nigeria missed the chance to build on their opening group stage victory over Tunisia, allowing the junior Atlas Lions to hold them to a stalemate. Looking ahead to their upcoming clash with Kenya, Coach Zubairu, who also managed El Kanemi Warriors, acknowledged the quality of the Kenya side despite their current lack of points in the group. Coach Zubairu stated that the team will approach the game against Kenya with a positive mindset, adding that they are a strong team and will be treated with respect even though they haven't picked up a point yet. He, however, noted that the Flying Eagles will stay focused to ensure they get the 3 points. And now from the foreign scene, the Kenyan government has described as shameful an incident in which a stone was thrown at President William Ruto during a rally. Government spokesman Isaac Wara, who condemned what happened, called for those behind the shameful act to be apprehended. Some MPs have also criticized the shoe throwing, which has been described as a major security lapse. The president, who was addressing a crowd at a public event in the western country of Migori as part of a 3-day tour of the region, where he has been launching and commissioning development projects, while the views of some ordinary Kenyans chime with the feeling that the shoe throwing was disrespectful. Others have suggested that it reflected frustrations over the state of the economy. An official video of the event shared by the president on X does not show the shoe incident, which appears to have happened off camera. However, commotion within the crowd is briefly seen. The president was asking his security officers, who may have been about to look for the culprit, to leave the people in the audience alone. Still on the foreign scene, dozens of protesters have marched up the hills of Haiti's capital, demanding an end to persistent gang violence as they called on the country's prime minister and transitional presidential council to resign. Information revealed that it is the latest such protest as Haitians grow increasingly angry and frustrated over a surge in violence as gangs try to seize full control of Port-au-Prince. Report says the demonstration and protests were organized to decry the country's spiraling crisis, with more than 1,600 people killed and another 580 injured from January to March. In mid-March, hundreds of people armed with sticks and machetes, accompanied by members of an armed environmental brigade, successfully outside more than 100 Catholic schools, according to a new report issued by UN Political Mission in Haiti. In a push to crack down on gangs, the U.S. government officially designated Vive Ensemble, a powerful gang coalition, and Grand Grif, the largest gang to operate in Haiti's central region, as foreign terror organizations. That ends the midday news on OSBC TV. Join us at 3 for the States News. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.